Bye, bitch.
Does a home built for love conceal the remains of a tragedy?
Don't you dare say bye, bitch, to me. The do you think you are, you cheeky
Hello, I'm Yvette Fielding, and this week I brought Most Haunted to Conway in Wales and to a place called Plas, Mawr, which when translated means Great Hall or Mansion. This place has been standing here for over 400 years and certainly has a story to tell.
This historic house is commonly thought to be one of Britain's best surviving Elizabethan townhouses. It bears several inscriptions to the time of its construction, as well as its principal owner, Robert Wynne, a man known to have fought for Henry VIII during his reign. Yet it was this man's 2 marriages that may hold our key to life after death. Both his wives were called Dorothy, and both suffered a premature demise. Illness accounted for the first, before a tragic fall killed the second, who unfortunately was pregnant. And to make matters worse, are Robert Wynne's second wife and the doctor, who failed to save her, still trapped in this bedroom.
With such a sad story and so many ghosts, I asked Stuart and Ian to spend last night alone and in the dark, and this is what happened.
Having decided to split up, Stuart went to the allegedly haunted bedroom, whilst Ian headed up to the eerie attic, with 1 or 2 curious incidents interrupting their stay.
I've actually just heard a noise coming from the door area. There, where my finger's pointing now.
I can hear quite a bit of clicking. God, this attic isn't half creaking.
Could you please move something on the bed? Could you move one of the curtains, maybe? Could you do something? Here we go, here we go, here we go. It came from where the doorway is.
Okay, that shit me up a bit then. It's a weird old building, this. But you do get a sense there's something here with you.
There is said to be a lot of poltergeist activity throughout the house. Secured windows and doors unlatch themselves and swing wildly in a non-existent wind. Also, heavy footsteps are heard and the smell of tobacco is often witnessed. Many people experience the touch of unseen hands, while others often see a ghostly black cat running across the floor.
One of the wives of Robert Wynne, who was pregnant at the time and had a baby in arms, was standing at the top of the tower waiting for her husband to come back from the wars. As she came down the spiral staircase, she slipped and the doctor was sent for, and he said that they would probably die. When the master came back, mother and child were dead in the bed, but the doctor had disappeared.
This is the White Chamber, and with the story attached to it, it has to be the most significant room in the whole of the property. A ghostly face has been seen looking through that particular door. A former master of the house is said to walk here, and when people enter the room, they're greeted with a ghostly hello. All over over the second floor, the ghost of a lady wearing a grey crinoline dress has been seen, alongside a woman also wearing Elizabethan clothing, accompanied by what has been described as a loud sigh. But it's not just women who haunt Plas Mawr. A gentleman wearing what's been described as Tudor clothing has been seen wandering endlessly around the first and second floors.
I was always very doubtful about ghosts until I came to live back in Conway, and I saw the things that I have seen, and I go on seeing them. And I was washing up in the kitchen, and I saw a flash of blue light in the yard. So I went out to see what it was, and there was a little girl, aged about 8 or 9, in a blue crinoline, long red hair, and she smiled at me, and then she'd gone. I've seen her loads of times since, on the terrace and walking through my yard, and I just take no notice of her whatsoever because she's just part and parcel of the scenery.
Many years later in the 1700s, this place was split up and there were about 25 different people living in various parts of the place. It also became an infant school for a time, and some of the teachers actually lived here as well.
Although relatively bare inside, this is a location that parapsychologist Kieran O'Keefe has in mind for an influx of ionisation, a method that some feel can trick you into thinking that you are having a paranormal experience.
So what sort of experiments are you going to be doing this evening?
We'll be setting up an ionising experiment. Essentially, we'll be blasting the room with negative ions and seeing if people react to that. There are 2 reasons for doing this particular experiment. Paranormal reason is that the ions kind of act as an energy source, and the spirits can use that energy source in some way to communicate with us. A sceptical explanation is that if there's an increase in the number of negative ions in a particular location, we'll get a physiological reaction. We'll think that we're being touched, maybe our hairs will go up on the back of our neck or on our hands, the sort of experiences that people genuinely have in a haunted location. So I've set the ioniser up, we're going to leave it running throughout the investigation and see if people actually report those sort of experiences.
So what dividends would Kieran's experiment reap? Would flooding a room with negative ions encourage greater communication with those who have long since died? And what messages would medium David Wells and guest psychic Ian Lawman deliver from these souls?
He's going to play havoc with us this evening.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's got blood up his arms.
So he's saying he's not in the mood for us to be here tonight?
He's not in the mood for you being here tonight.
Oh, me?
Having heard of Plas Mawr's steep history, we were all now ready and willing to see if anyone actually does haunt one of North Wales's finest buildings. Before guest psychic Ian Lawman joined the rest of the crew on set, medium David Wells entered the entrance hall, a place allegedly rife with poltergeist activity and mysterious footsteps.
So what comes to mind as you come into this first room?
It feels active, you know, it feels tingly to me. So I'm getting that, you know, kind of that sensation that says activity, which is, and it's not just because I'm cold,
right?
You know. But I'm very much aware of a woman's scream upstairs.
Okay.
I mean, it's like the first thing I hear is a woman's scream. You know, in my mind's eye and in my head, I'm hearing because I'm getting lots of different time periods. Lots of different astrals, trying to distinguish if they're original, if they're coming and going, if they're grounded. And the only one that's above them all is this from a woman. That's the only one that's above them.
And she's coming from upstairs?
And that is definitely upstairs.
Okay, come on. God, that's scary. Which way?
Yeah, it's scary, I think.
Do you want to go up?
Yeah.
Yeah? Go on then. Ooh, what's the matter? Don't do that. I hate it when he does that.
Sorry, I just don't like the staircase a minute.
Why?
I don't know. The minute I step my foot on it, I can feel someone on me straight away. This is by far, this is the most active place so far. The staircase, right in that, just as we come through that door there, there's a little space that is madly active. It is really, like, mad. Pregnant woman falling downstairs, and both die. Both are dead, but the baby and the mother are definitely dead, because I can see that, I can feel that they're both dead. And this is where the scream's coming from, but it's more than a scream, it's like a gut-wrenching animal cry. It's like, I don't know, it seems possibly that she may have given birth to this child. She may have, as a result of the accident, the baby's been born, but it's been stillborn. And then there's that just almighty grief, and then they show me almost like a light going out like that.
So that scream was basically her last breath, is what you're saying?
No, that scream was alerting me to the staircase.
Right.
I think the last breath was in here.
But was it an accident, do you think, or was she pushed?
She's on her own when it happened, so unless she threw herself down.
Okay.
So she was clearly an accident.
But can you possibly put a time period on when this would have happened?
It's hard to put a time on it. It would be 1600s. I wouldn't have said it's 1500s.
Okay.
I can't get a name because it's just absolute... It's absolute pain and agony. And there's a smaller... There's 3 people involved here. There's 2 males and a female. There's a smaller man who's a weedy little man. There doesn't seem to be, you know, I'm searching in my mind for, like, some wrongdoing, like she's been unfaithful and murdered by and I can't get it. You know, that's not what I'm getting.
Can you get any connection between the men and this lady?
Well, one of the men is storming around, and the other man has, to me, he's got blood up his arms, and he's got a baby, a dead baby in his arms, says the doctor. He's possibly one of the strongest things here.
So
and scratching from behind here.
Where?
From behind the fireplace, scratching.
Well, what would be causing that?
Well, somebody's behind it. Somebody's bricked up in it.
Really? Put your torch up there.
Oh. It's blocked.
It is blocked. So somebody was buried behind here?
Not buried, stuffed.
Just stuffed up. Oh, alive?
Yeah, I'd say died behind it. Caught.
Caught?
Trapped behind it. You see this spot here, just there is really active to me, and it sets...
What sort of things would we hear? Her screaming and...
You might hear, I mean, I didn't physically hear her scream, but I was aware of her doing it, so I don't know if people report that, but it certainly, it's been built up enough, do you know what I mean? There is one who's kind of followed us around a couple of times. I've seen him, just got him out the corner of my eye. And he's kind of like a servant type of astral. And I don't know if... he's quite strong, so people might see him. He's really fast. He's dashing around all the time. Like he's really busy doing stuff.
And is he from the same era, so the 1600s?
I think he may be just slightly earlier than that.
Right.
He's wearing, I mean, I don't know much about what they wore, but you know, like when they had those baggy trousers and the strips? There was So there was like something underneath, and then there was like strips that would like do that. He's wearing that kind of gear, and a little, like a bodice, and a shirt. So kind of...
Is that someone banging? You heard it, obviously.
Yeah, very footsteps. You're almost underneath where you are, Carl. Shall I go down? I'll go down and have a look.
Yeah.
I'll come down with you, Carl.
That was 2 bangs.
Real distinct.
Yeah, bang. Not a real knock.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when you talk about them as well, it kind of...
It's almost like, hello, hi, we're here.
That is me, it's me.
Yeah.
And he's that excitable kind of creature.
So he's a nice...
Yeah. Do you know, I mean, certainly in the bedroom, it's not great and it's not nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel threatened. I don't feel murder and ill-doing. You know, I really don't feel that at all, even for all that's going on down there.
Actually, let me try something. I'm just going to try this with your... If I make some sounds here, see if they can hear them upstairs. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And this little chap that's scurrying around, is he here all the time? Or is he just visiting?
No, he seems strong enough to be here all the time, but all over the building.
Why? What would he be?
Sometimes the servants will stay.
Really?
You know,
Do you think he's just going about his business, being busy?
Oh, no, he's aware of us.
Is he?
Yeah, impish. This one's an impish one.
What, you mean so he might play games?
He could play. Yeah, he could play if we can get... I'm not sure this is his strongest space.
Right.
But maybe down one.
Age-wise, how old is he?
Oh, he's a bit older. He's probably in his late 30s.
Can you see his face? Describe his face.
Very small, pinched face with that kind of goatee thing and the moustache.
Okay.
But very, very pinched.
Right, okay.
And balding.
Okay, all right. You're coming back now. Anything?
No. Did you hear us making a banging sound downstairs?
No, I was listening out to see if I could hear you doing anything.
We did two things because there's a Hessian mat on the floor, and so Carl tapped 3 times and then went over to side bench and knocked on it 3 times. Because the interesting thing is, even if somebody was walking downstairs, it's not the same sort of floorboard like this, so it doesn't create kind of a knocking sound. And you reported that you heard...
There's 2. Don't knock.
Like knocks.
It was... I don't know if it was the same, but...
About like that.
Yeah.
Did you hear it at all, John?
I did hear it, yeah.
So you picked it up.
Yeah.
And I think the key with this one is maybe action is to move around with him. It's just a huge cacophony of stuff, it really is mad.
The story of Robert Wynn's second bereavement is well chronicled, but the subsequent disappearance of the doctor who failed to save Robert's second wife still remains a mystery. Did this doctor try to climb out of the bedchamber? And are his remains still trapped behind its chimney breast? Perhaps Ian Lawman could offer further clues to this 400-year-old tale of events.
All right, Ian?
Yeah, fine. If we can walk straight, go through here, the room on the left. I'm being pulled into here, yeah. Yeah, straight away, as soon as we walked into this room, I'm aware of a gentleman. He's got tights and quite a big, velvety, quite materialed coat, very similar to Emma VIII.
So Tudor period.
Yeah.
This man, is he active? Is he here all the time?
He's going to play havoc with us this evening.
Is he?
Yeah.
So he's saying he's not in the mood for us to be here tonight?
He's not in the mood for you being here tonight.
Oh, me? Oh, right. OK.
It's almost as if he's kind of stood with his back next to the fire, stood like this, and he's keeping his back warm, but he's just permanently giving eye contact with you. As I'm looking at you now, I feel quite aggressive, quite angry, and it's like we've had an argument and he wants you out of the room.
Oh, right. Any name with him? I know you say Gwendolyn is associated with this family in the Tudor period, but any name connected to him? How old would you say he was? How old is he showing himself to you?
I would certainly say maybe 30, 35, somewhere around there.
Okay. And his wife, you say he's married or has a lady here?
He's saying she needs to be... she needs shutting up. He's talking about you.
Oh, right. That's nice. Well, I'm not going to shut up if you can hear me. I'm going to really annoy you.
And he's talking about a baby out of wedlock.
Uh-huh. Oh, did you hear that?
Mm.
Right by us. Boom, boom, boom. They...
Say it again.
It's almost as if it's a cry for help, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's somebody...
It's a soft pull.
It's coming from everywhere.
It's coming from under the floor.
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
I can hear it, yeah. I'm just trying to pinpoint where it's coming from.
Can we actually go into the next room?
Yeah, go.
And see if that's where it's coming from, because I actually feel as if I'm pulled into the room next door. I can see this gentleman who's in here is really slender. It's almost as if he's wasting away to nothing.
Mm.
The Edward has put a gentleman in this room to look after this lady who's poorly, who's sick, and he wants to get out. He's trapped.
So why is this lady ill on the bed?
It's to do with the child. The child is sick. I think it's the gentleman that we're aware of making this noise.
Which one? The one that's trapped in the room?
Yeah. I feel he would have been a doctor or somebody in the medical profession, and he would have been here to see this sick girl, to see Sarah. He didn't particularly go to plan, and he was shut in the room until she was... There's that noise again, isn't there? Until she became better, but I felt she never did. I felt like she would have passed away in this room.
This, then, is a room...
This is very, very active. I think you're going to have a very interesting evening.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
What about the other women? There was just a knock there. Is it just me because I'm opinionated?
It's saying you're asking too many questions.
I've only just started.
It's constantly banging, isn't it?
Yeah. Do they all need help? Are they here? Are they grounded? Are they here all the time?
I feel the doctor certainly does. I feel for some reason he's trapped, and I can just hear him knocking on the panelling. I mean, obviously I don't want to bang, but he's banging on the panelling trying to get out. But I can't. It's just quite strange because I can't understand why it's been put in here.
The auditory phenomena now separately encountered in more than one part of the house has offered us real hope that Plas Mawr would prove to be a hotbed of spiritual activity. But what else would the Most Haunted team have to encounter in the dead of night?
Bye, bitch.
Don't you dare say bye, bitch, to me. The f do you think you are, you cheeky...
One particular historic event seems to lie behind the 21st century phenomena that has drawn our investigative team to North Wales. That event is the day in the 16th century that 4 separate souls died within one bedroom. So what would we encounter at Plas Mawr?
What was that? Did you hear that?
What?
What?
Someone's just banged on the door.
Out!
And with nightfall now upon us, David, Kieran and I leave the others in another building, turn off the lights, switch our cameras to night vision mode and begin the vigils in the entrance hall.
There's something really spooky about this place.
I agree.
Oh, get him, he's been a bit brave.
It is.
Can you just hang on for me? I can't see a flipping thing.
Thank
you. Are you there, Kieran?
Come out, wherever you are.
Oh my God, you sound like the bloody child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang
Well,
Bang.
do you know what? I've decided I'm going to be a ghost catcher, and if that's the way I'm going to get them.
I'm freaked out by it. Is that a step?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big step.
Darker.
David?
Did you hear that?
What?
Footstep upstairs.
Upstairs?
Yeah, definitely.
We go.
Go.
Oh, she's strong here. She's.
What is that? What does that mean?
That's my EMF going off.
She's really strong at this landing. Still, this landing. If you're here, come and talk to me. Talk to me now.
Oh, go for it, Dave.
Please come and talk to me. I know you're here. The minute I walked into this building, you stood here and confronted me. Now, don't...
Oh, David.
Oh, wait a minute. Talk to me now. Don't do that.
You alright?
Yeah, just fighting a little bit. Really strong. Mega strong.
Who is it? Who is it?
It's this woman. Where did you come from to come down these stairs?
I'm getting a bit freaked out.
Oh my God, I'm absolutely boiling.
What?
My whole being's just gone red hot. Like a blast of warm air. Not cold, warm air.
Just in front of you or?
Around me. I feel really warm here, especially here.
Where?
Just around there. That feels really warm.
There's nothing blowing from in that other room, is there?
There's nothing in that room.
Heater or anything?
No, it's just floorboards. If that's you making us feel warm instead of cold, thank you.
Thank you.
Want to go in that room there, because little man's just stuck his face through it.
What?
The little man's just stuck his face through there and laughed at me. So
Oh, God.
right.
Oh, what's that smell?
I smell it.
Oh, I just had a... I know it sounds awful, but no one broke wind, did they?
No.
Right, because I've just had this pungent smell.
No, it certainly wasn't me.
No, but it
Had to
was.
cancel in for that.
That's all.
I know.
If there's the spirit of a little man in here, please come and play.
He's being really brave.
Come on, come and play with us, please.
Oh, God, that was you.
Hey,
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I'm just right
Me.
here. It's
I'm
all
really
right.
sorry. It's only because of my past when I've heard things in my ear. It really freaks me out, and I just heard it, and it was him. I'm sorry. Should we keep exploring?
Yeah, we haven't done the bedroom yet, have we?
No. Come on, let's keep exploring. One of you stay behind me. Thank you. Thank you. Go on, someone go in front. I'm sorry, it's just, I don't know what it is. I go through phases of being really brave, and then I go through really crap phases.
Where did you want to go?
Back down the stair. I hate these stairs with a passion. I have to hold on. Go down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, someone's going to push me.
That was you going, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, please say it was.
No, I
Did you not
I did that. I didn't.
No,
From behind you.
just, yeah, coming down the stairs.
I didn't.
It wasn't my imagination. I heard it. A sighing.
Okay.
But you'd be scared.
Is that your island thingy?
Yes. I was thinking that might explain why you might have been feeling a
Headache.
warmth upstairs.
Ah,
What, that?
Because if you increase the number of negative ions
Right.
in this room, it means any of the adjoining rooms you're going to get an increase in positive ions. And one of the symptoms of experiencing an increase in positive ions is warmth.
All right. Okay.
all right.
So
That's
possibly.
Interesting. He's sitting here, the soldier's sitting on that
what
chair.
soldier?
There.
You didn't tell me about
Her
a soldier.
husband. It's her husband. He's
A husband
warrior.
is a soldier.
Well, I think he's a soldier, he's a warrior.
Sitting where?
Where? He's sitting there. What are you getting, David?
He's just an arrogant, self-centred individual, really, who I don't think, well, he might interact, but only when the mood takes him. He'd be a slow burner.
Should we wander around? You alright, David?
I've got a message for you from this man.
Really?
Bye, bitch.
You're kidding?
Yeah.
He says what?
Bye, bitch.
Well, can you stand behind me for a second, Kieran? Just a second. Can he hear me?
Can he hear you?
Can he hear me?
Yeah, I think he can hear
Bye, bitch. F you. Yeah, can you understand that? What are you going to do now? Don't you dare say bye, bitch, to me. The do you think you are, you cheeky b****? Anything? What?
you. You didn't get any light anomalies.
No.
No, like, you
I'm
flew-
just pointing at.
Why?
He flew across the room and sort of went. Big old bit of energy. It's the first time I've seen him strong as that.
Really?
The misogynistic man that Ian had earlier sensed had not only shown himself to David, but also broken my patience. My methods may not have been polite, but then neither was he. And had he been behind this breath? So, with Robert Wynne seemingly still angry at his wife's death, would a visit by Carl and Stuart to the bedroom where she died spark any further reactions?
If you're here, Dorothy, I'm lying on your bed, the one you died in. Please show yourself to me. There's just the two of us here, Stuart and myself. What the f*** was that? Who's that? That's got to be somebody, surely. That's got to be someone. That was out here. Hello? I'm going to nip up. I'm going to go upstairs and see if there's any.
Take your time.
Right. Just make sure you stick. Crying out loud! How cold is it up here? Hello? Is anyone up here? What's that?
Mate, I don't know.
Is there anybody here? What is that? It's through there. That's definitely through there. I'm sure it is.
Just that.
What is that? Do you know, I thought I saw something standing over by that bed then.
Where?
Yeah, right behind you. Who is in it?
Hey, there's someone in there. I've got a low down shot on that.
Nah, it's just blankets, mate.
The one area that had really grabbed our interest so far was this bedroom. So hopefully the addition of a séance in here would add further evidence to that already gathered.
Can you see that, David?
I can feel her. I feel her certainly around the table. Yeah, definitely. I mean, she's strong. Do you want to see your husband?
Oh, tap him right by you.
Please, I'm going to try my best to change things so you can actually see him instead of pass him.
I've had a cold breeze right across both my hands. Anybody else feel a breeze?
Richard, do you want us to try speaking?
Is the spirit of your baby here with you?
Oh.
Thank you. Is the doctor here with us? Are you here as well?
Yeah, keep going, Richard.
Yeah. Your body is still in the chimney then?
It's lifting. Come on.
That's why you're still here, I know it.
Did you feel that, girl?
Wow. Doctor, is your name Charles? Yeah, thank you. You died of asphyxiation 400 years ago.
Right, out loud.
There you go. Hard to believe, isn't it?
Whoa, it's lifting.
I'm
It's
sorry
lifted.
to be the bearer of such bad tidings, but you need to know. Dr. Charles, you're dead.
I didn't like that. Keep going, Richard.
Come on, Dr. Charles, you've got to accept it. This is the problem. This is why you're still here.
That's you get to the
I'm trying to tell you that this is a place of the living, not of the dead.
Quick, Karen, quick.
You've seen your body decompose.
Water.
You also must have seen your skeleton.
I'll put it here.
You're
Yeah.
probably not a very good doctor because you let the young lady and her baby die. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm sorry to accuse you of that. Perhaps it wasn't your fault. Perhaps they were too far gone. You've got to accept that you need to go from this place.
Connect, Stuart. You're right.
Just really warm for some reason.
You're hot.
So how can you be hot? How can you be hot? I'm freezing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's that?
2 degrees hotter than Carl.
Okay.
You can see the sweat on your forehead.
If you can hear my voice, please listen very carefully. I'm a mum. I'm a mother. I have 2 children. I gave birth. And it's the most excruciating pain. I know. But to have lost a child like you did must have been the most horrendous, awful thing. What is that noise?
I think it was someone's tummy. I think.
Sound like
A
it.
squeaky noise.
Sounded like crying.
It sounded like a girl.
2 bang there. All right. It's gone flat again, hasn't it?
Yeah.
She's still here, David.
It's just still here. But you're right, it has gone flat. Energy's gone down a bit.
She keeps trying to walk into me, but she's not actually getting into me. I'm inviting her, but she's not. She gets so far and then she backs away.
There were several facets of this séance that intrigued us. Firstly, the stark contrast in temperatures felt by 2 men who were sat right next to each other, which followed on from us all witnessing the reaction of the table when criticism was aimed in the doctor's direction. The final part of our investigation still had plenty more provocation to come.
The door's open.
Hey,
What
no,
door?
don't be silly.
The door's open.
No.
Out!
Plas Mawr can be found amidst the narrow lanes of Conway in North Wales, and we're now finding that its possible ghosts generate entirely different emotions. The rage displayed by Robert Wynne jars with his tragic and troubled wife Dorothy, as well as the trapped doctor, who, legend has it, failed to save her life. So being 2 of the men who have already sparked a reaction here, Ian and Richard decide to join me back inside Plas Mawr's entrance hall.
Shall I close the door?
Yeah.
Keep it off.
What are you sensing?
I'm just, as I'm in here, I'm automatically sent straight up the stairs.
What? Oh,
Someone's just banged on the door.
You're joking.
Hello? Straight up the stairs.
what?
Straight up the stairs.
What?
Did you not hear that?
I didn't hear it.
I swear someone banged
I
on the
also
door.
don't want to be scared shitless, but the last 3 programs have done that.
Someone just thumped on the door.
If there's any spirit people here with us, can you do that again?
Shh, Richard. What? Keep still.
Keep still, Richard. Hello?
What are you hearing? What is it, Ian?
Hello?
What?
Can you move it?
No, what is it?
It's attacking me.
What are you hearing?
Keep still.
Where's the cellar?
Hello? If that was you making that noise. Did you hear it then?
No.
Let's just move off that hole. If you've just tapped, can you tap again? If there's somebody down the cellar...
I heard it then. A tap by the door, you mean? Yeah, I've just heard it. And again, yeah.
I can't hear anything. Hello?
Shush, Richard. It's like there's something in that room just over there. this?
What's that one? Was that you?
Yeah.
We're all so jumpy. What's up with us?
I know.
Do you sense anybody following us, or...?
I sense a gentleman here.
Oh,
Just stood watching us.
really?
Would they have wolf owls, Richard?
Yeah.
Why, is that what you're seeing, Ian?
Look, he's going to set his dogs on us if we don't move.
You're kidding? What do you mean?
That's what he's saying.
Who is he?
I don't know, I've never seen him before.
What's he saying?
Out!
Thank you.
Okay, fine, right. I'm scared.
I don't like it.
Shall we move?
Huh?
Shall we move?
Yeah.
If he wants to
Stay really, Richard.
really close.
Please.
What's that?
What?
There was a bump, wasn't there?
No, that was mine. No, it was us. What were we saying? What's
Where's
that?
the cellar then?
Oh, do we really want to go in the friggin' cellar? Well, why are we doing it then?
Hello?
No.
It's just the sort of parlour, I think.
Oh, feel that cold draft here.
God, yeah. I would close the door.
Shit, it's really cold. Oh, how cold is that?
This is where the dog's been seen.
This is where it was?
Yeah. Corridors. And they've also heard foot scratching noises like dogs' claws running along here.
What? It's freezing, you're getting cold blast, so shut the door.
I know. Good grief.
It's freezing. Do you realise if something really horrible happened to us now, we'd all be in bloody psychiatric hospitals? Where are you going? Where's that?
Feeling well drawn. This is that main room again.
Shit.
Who's the doors open?
Hey,
What
no,
door?
don't be
The
silly.
doors open.
No.
Oh, it is as well.
Oh, shit, look,
Did you definitely close
Oh,
it?
yes.
Hello?
Now let me just close it and see if the wind
How did you
can
shut
blow
it? Oh, you in behind me?
Right.
You shut it like that?
Oh, yeah, because it went clang up. Oh, look, that... Did you see how I pull it?
He did set his dog on us and then the soldier came.
That is amazing.
Yeah, you've got to really pull it.
As this footage proves, Richard had firmly closed the door 40 minutes earlier. And with all other crew members accounted for throughout our time in the house, we were again left wondering if atmospheric or paranormal conditions had caused this to happen. So did this occurrence, as well as hot and cold spots, EMF fluctuations and an eerie sigh, all point towards apparent phenomena?
All in all, Plas Mawr was a fascinating location, mainly because of where it was on the high street, the way it looked. I think everybody was quite excited about the location. Also, the weather for that day and the day before, there had been snow blizzards and everybody almost felt as though they were hemmed into that location in a way. That made it fascinating.
Quite impressed that both mediums actually picked up on the doctor that died, reputedly died, in the chimney.
The information they came up with matched the story exactly. The difficulty is that there is no actual historical record of the incidents happening as the mediums described. So although, yes, the story did match previous eyewitness reports, we don't actually have a historical record to check up on that.
What's that? I don't know.
In such an old location such as this, we do have to be wary of temperature drops, certainly early in the morning, which may result in any wood structures within the environment actually causing the noises.
Come with it.
No, what is it?
He's attacking them.
Keep still.
Oh, it's the cellar.
Hello?
The fact we didn't get any sort of intelligent conversation going with these sounds implies to me as a parapsychologist that there was probably a natural source. In terms of actual phenomena that was experienced by the team, it didn't deliver.
True, old buildings may occasionally creak, but do their locked doors really open all on their own? Sleep tight.
Can't get enough of Most Haunted? Well, now you can watch it anytime you want. Just visit livingtv.co.uk to download episodes, or digital cable viewers will find it on their on-demand catch-up service.
And Most Haunted is back next week, of course, in a 4,000-year-old castle where ghostly children are heard singing. Well, I'm sorry, but that would seriously creep me out. Well, after the break, real-life psychics use their powers to reopen old unsolved crimes. Sensing Murder is next.